Hey everybody, welcome back to Trinity Dairy. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and check out our merch store. We'll have a link in the description for that. It is Sunday, December 4th, 2022 today. It's actually really nice out, sunny. It's about 32 degrees, I think, a little windy. I didn't pick any corn today. Just being Sunday, we usually try not to do too much more than necessary. And I didn't pick any yesterday because it was cold. It's nasty cold yesterday. I think it got up to only about 15 above, and it was windy. And when it gets that cold, that corn picks really dirty. Get a lot of husk and stalk and everything. That gets so much trash coming into that picker, it doesn't clean very well. So tomorrow is supposed to be in the mid-20s, I think. So I'm gonna try to get that wrapped up tomorrow. I figured that'd be better than getting a lot of extra trash in there. But what I'm going to do now, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to head down south of the farm and cut some firewood, just because I don't really have a stockpile. So I kind of just cut and burn as I cut it. So I don't know, maybe not the smartest way to do it, but I guess I've been doing it that way for 10 years and it's been working. So anyway, we're going to head back and go to a spot I've been cutting. It's on my grandparents' property, actually south of here, but it's a really nice spot. It's kind of neat land back there. We used to pasture it. Then in 2012 we got a really bad flood. The river runs around behind there, and it basically tore out all the fence or covered it with sand in different places. So at that time my grandpa had cattle back there, and he just pulled the fence out, and it kind of got abandoned. That's kind of down the same area. I've got that field down there where we had the little garden patch and stuff this fall. It'll be down from that further yet, but so anyway, we're gonna head back there and just cut a bucket load of firewood, get us through till tomorrow, and then we can get chores started. To stop here quick and kind of show something a little neat here, a little bit of history. This is an old homestead back here, and I don't know the name of the people who lived here. I don't even know if my grandpa does. I think it was before his time. This was probably 100 years ago or so. Actually used to be part of the road we came in on was actually an old road that went all the way through to the next town. But and this would be the old foundation from the house. There's some junk inside of it that wasn't from the house, but and there was a gentleman a number of years back, probably 10-12 years ago, that stopped here. I think he was well in his 80s then, and he was born back here on this place. And I know my grandpa was talking to him. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but he said that he wanted to come back here and just kind of look around, but the road was washed out at the time. We couldn't get back here, so he didn't get to. But anyway, my grandpa was talking with him a little bit, and he said there was actually quite a large house there, but the basement, I suppose, was more like a cellar or something. But then as we walk through here, this is all grown up now. It kind of looks like you're out in the middle of nowhere. But and when we used to fence back here, of course the cattle were in here, then it was more open than it is now. But this area here, up on this kind of shelf here, there's a ditch here. But this was some type of probably a barn or some type of a shed, because there's old concrete, part of a foundation. Then there's a couple spots in it where you can see there was some anchor bolts for the walls. But yeah, like right here, where it would have been anchored down. And it's hard to say. Who knows what else is out here in the woods. These are the only two structures back here that I'm aware of. But it's just kind of neat. You think this was, it looks like out in the middle of the woods now, but it was somebody's front yard at one time. It'd be kind of neat to know more of the history on it. But it's kind of nice to record down a little bit. I do know anyway. But we're almost there now. I just got a little bit of a kind of a trail through the woods. We used to cross actually over by that old building, but when we got that flood, our crossing kind of washed out, so I had to kind of make a makeshift one there with just some logs in the ditch to cross for now. So anyway, we'll head back there and get a load of wood. All right, so we made it down here. I got just a couple limbs left off of this big oak that I cut down. I got it cut up. I actually had my deer stand right over there, and so as I'm sitting there looking around and spotting all the dead trees, that was a beautiful oak. I mean, it was dead. Here's the stump. I mean, you can see this outside couple inches is already was getting soft, so it's been dead quite a while, but beautiful firewood. There's another one like that over here that needs to come down, but there's also, I'm going to make a trail over here. There's a couple of blowdowns across my trail here that might be decent firewood, but I spotted this over here. There's a lot of wood in this clump of trees that blew over, and I'm not sure if it's a big oak or a maple. I haven't looked at it real close, but I mean, that's a big bunch of firewood there. And actually possibly even be some nice saw logs in there, depending on what it looks like when you get it cut up. But I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's about 6 trees in this cluster. Another one that it broke off there when it came down. So, and there's more I see over here. So I definitely need to get over here and get these out, because this is some beautiful stuff here. And this this area back here, like I said, we used to pasture it, had fence that ran around the whole river, and I hated it back here because the only time we ever came back here was to do the fencing, and it was always in like middle of June. It was hot, and ticks and mosquitoes, and one of them things, I just hated it, you know. When we tore the fence out of here, I was glad, like, yeah, we don't have to go back there. But now it's kind of, you kind of wish it still was, you know. You see how this stuff starts growing up and creeping in here. You get older, you tend to appreciate that kind of stuff a little more. But it's also coming back here this time of the year. It's a lot more enjoyable. It's a lot more scenic back in here. It's not just, you know, everything's all just solid. You can't see very far, and it's kind of nasty, but anyway, it's nice to be back here now and getting some use out of the firewood. And I'll take you over here and show you a spot in the river here. We're not too far. This is one spot I always remember because it's a little channel here, and it's hard to see on the camera, but there's a low spot in the fence. The river always washed the fence out there, so that was always one spot I remember, because you had to come way back in the woods to find the wire. But show you the river. There's a bunch of all this stuff here. This is all stuff that the river has washed up in here when it floods, pushed up over the bank. I could listen to that all night, just peaceful. But don't have all night, so we better cut some firewood. Just walking back out of here, speaking of the old fence, here's some of it right here, wrapped up on this tree. And that's what would happen. The water would just push it up, and then it would get tangled up around everything, and had to go dig it back out. And actually, I think that spot there where I was taking video, that's actually washed out now. So where we used to have the fence, I don't even think that's there anymore. I think the river has moved in some. But the river is always changing the landscape, that's for sure. All right, now we'll move over to another spot and maybe start cutting up a couple of them downfalls. I don't have a full bucket yet, so cut up a few of them blowdowns and get over to that big one. Well, there, that'll be good enough for tonight. Some of that stuff I cut wasn't, the oak, the first stuff was really good. Some of the stuff I cut off the ground was a little soft, but it'll make some heat anyway. But now I can get over, come down here again, I can get up onto this ridge and follow it right around and get over into all these downfalls in here. And this big oak here right in front of me, that one's dead. He could come down for sure. There's another one over here that I think might be dying too. But anyway, we got our load of wood. Now we'll head back and get it unloaded and have some heat for the night. Here's another spot. As long as I was down here, I thought I'd show you, although I don't know if it's accessible, but the beavers have been helping out with my firewood harvest. You can see that they got all kinds of trees chewed down in there. This was another spot here. The fence used to come around, it used to kind of come around this ridge. Some of this ridge is probably washed out now too since, but always in here the fence would always be down. But this bar of land out here, that actually used to be, that was part of the farm, and the river never came through here, but it cut a new channel. It used to go around the other side. It cut a new channel and kind of isolated that island off, so that's kind of a shame there, but can't stop Mother Nature. But anyway, that's the end of our firewood gathering. So hope you enjoyed a little video and a little different scenery. Thanks for watching. God bless, and we'll catch you in the next one.